everyone, I'm your host Neha and you're tuned into Durian Dreaming, the show that brings you extraordinary stories from seemingly ordinary experiences in Indonesia's fast-paced market. Let's dive into today's conversation with another inspiring guest. I'm thrilled to welcome Ngoc Phungbich, a powerhouse in the business world, to Durian Dreaming. Currently, she is the country CEO of Joy Group. Ngoc brings over a decade of leadership experience with some of the world's most iconic brands. From driving strategic growth at Sociolla as Chief Business Officer to steering marketing innovation at L'Oréal and Procter & Gamble, she has been a trailblazer in Indonesia's dynamic consumer market. Her visionary leadership continues to redefine success in the beauty and retail industries. Let's dive into her inspiring journey and insights. Hi, Ngoc. Welcome to Durian Dreaming. We are very excited to have you on a podcast. So, Ngoc, you have made an interesting journey from Vietnam to settling here in Indonesia. How has that transition been for you, both personally and professionally?
Hi, Neha. Thanks a lot for having me in your podcast today. It's actually a very great pleasure for me as well. Well, actually, the journey has been quite long. Actually, working in different country in ASEAN markets, starting from Vietnam as well. Actually, I started out not directly from Vietnam to Indonesia, but so right after university, actually, I got the chance to start my career with P&G, Procter and Gamble in Thailand, and then from Thailand, I moved to Indonesia. So, fun fact, I have never been working in Vietnam. So my career have been on way outside of Vietnam, so in Thailand and Indonesia. But yeah, from both personally and professionally, there's certain challenge as well. But it's also very exciting with the new learning. Simple thing like when I was in working in Thailand, it take me like 9 minutes to office every day, and when I just land in Indonesia, it take me like 19 minutes to work every day. Right, so it was very challenging on that on the first 1 year, and then get used to the traffic jam in Jakarta in the first year. It was very challenging. I remember like six months in Jakarta. I already I made up my mind. Like I was telling myself that after 1 year I'm gonna move to another country, to move back to Vietnam or move to Thailand, because it was really challenging. Because the food in Indonesia is very different from the food in Thailand or Vietnam. Like simple thing like Vietnamese, we eat a lot of vegetable, right? So when I came here as well, I remember my first meal with my friends, local friends here. Everyone got very excited to introduce Indonesian cuisine to me, and then everything was fried. So I was like, oh, but I need some vegetable, right? It's just like Vietnamese people, we need vegetable. So then my friend was like, no problem. So they order vegetable, and came out with also fried kangkung. So it was like quite shocking, right? And on the first few months, but then throughout the years, I realized actually this country, this people in Indonesia actually very friendly, and in the way as well, the dynamic, the young population, and this culture of harmonize, like um, people here looking for peaceful life. Even the way of they working as well, they don't like confrontation in meeting. They don't like very aggressiveness as well. In a way, getting me to really enjoy the culture as well. And people here really want me to be a part of the team as well. So yeah, after I would say that it's still a little bit of bitter and sweet kinds of relationship. Like I enjoy now after 13 years here. I enjoy my life here. I enjoy my career here. But once for a while, when I got stuck in traffic jam, I was also still wondering like why every day I need to spend like 3 4 hours on the road. Right, so it's still here and there from that side, but overall, I think I was glad with my decision to move here and really enjoy working here, having a lot of good friends here as well. Although from the foods, I'm still not used to it yet. It's still that the only area that yeah, I'm still a little bit not yet enjoy fully the frying everything of the food of Indonesian food.
So you have worked with all big companies like Joy Group, Sociolla, L'Oréal, and P&G. So what was your big or the aha moment when you first realized that you wanted to make a mark in the beauty industry?
Yeah, actually, many people was asking me like, why did I choose the beauty industry? Because I've been spending like until now, I think I've been already with the beauty industry, like fully in beauty industry since L'Oreal time. I think already almost 10 years. And then everyone was like, no, why did you stay so long in beauty industry? Why did you choose beauty industry? I will say that I didn't choose beauty industry. It was in the way it like more like in the way it chose me, I would say, because when I started when I working with in P&G, well, you were in P&G, as well, right? So the philosophy, the brand building as a P&G always think as a strong marketer, you can sell anything, right? So I started with that mindset as well, that I learned fundamental of building the brand in P&G. And I always think that I can do any industry. I can sell anything because of that fundamental as well. But my journey is more like from P&G. So the P&G is a great school for being a good brand builder. However, I would say that in the way back then, well, P&G must be changed a lot now already. I left so long ago. So back then I felt like because my entire family are own entrepreneur. I'm the only one I'm working for another person, another company, but my family is entrepreneur. So back then I feel in P&G is like there's a lot of things that you don't taking care of things from A to Z. So you only see a part of the business, but not the full pictures. Even when I was there after 7 years, I still didn't manage the full P&L for any business, but a part of that only. So that's the reason why when I got the opportunity in L'Oreal, when in L'Oreal is more that even as you are the marketing manager, you still need to manage the P&L A to Z. You see the business, every aspect of the business. So that reason why I decided to move to L'Oreal, and it was Maybelline, which is makeup. And when I was in P&G, I sell everything from Pampers, like diaper, into SK2. But I didn't have a chance to work on makeup when I was in P&G. So when the opportunity with L'Oreal came, it I decided to move less because of beauty category, but it's more about the scope of business management. And yes, makeup is a new category, and I like color in general. That isn't why I decided, but it's not because primary reason is not because of the beauty industry itself. Then when I get into beauty industry with L'Oreal, it's really different. I remember in the first film meeting with L'Oreal team, and then they spend a lot of time, like I would say, like 30 minutes to discuss about how blue is blue on certain thing. And I was like, why did we spend so much time to discuss about how blue is blue? And then even like the way we shooting the model, the detail of the DI, everything, very, very it's like that obsession in selling beauty is very different from the principle when we develop key visual in P&G, right? So that is where I learning the art of building a beauty brand. It's very different from selling detergent. I remember when I was having a first meeting with a global boss in L'Oreal, and he was looking at me and he was saying that you are selling makeup like you selling mayonnaise, and I was shocked. But then it's also the point when I find it's a good turning point for me when I realized that in beauty you selling more than just the functional part of the product. It's have a hope, it had dream, it had aspiration together with that as well. And many times consumer giving the decision to purchase a product, it might not be because functional reason. Sometimes about trend, sometimes because of hope that they have there, that they have on the in the product itself, right? So that is the reason why I learned a lot in 4 years in L'Oreal. And then after that, when I decided to move to Sociolla, it also less because the beauty industry. I remember back then I was also thinking that should I move to another industry, um, but then more because of I find that I spent 12 years back then in MNC, and I still don't feel that fulfill of as an entrepreneur. The fulfillment when you can see, when you can manage the business the way that you want, right? So it's more about climbing up the ladder back then. So when I decided to move to Sociolla, it's also not because I want to continue on beauty industry, but it's just that it's startup is different, and the founder give me the chance to really build a business the way that I want. So that reason why I decided to move, but more because startup is not about beauty industry.
Yeah, I think this opportunity really gets close to becoming an entrepreneur, especially since, like, you mentioned your entire family is full of entrepreneurs except for you who's working. So, given the right moment and opportunity, I can totally see you jumping in, I mean, hands on and diving into the business world.
Yes. So when I joined Sociolla, the business is still pretty small. Back then Sociolla also didn't have app, didn't have store yet. So yeah, there's a lot of things that need to build almost from scratch. So it was a really fun time actually. I would say, learning so much during that 5 years in Sociolla on the area that I really literally have zero idea before, like managing investor, in startup is also like there's a lot of things that you need to do yourself as well. Like in a day you need to think from like what will be the ad that we're gonna run tomorrow. At the same time also need to think, okay, 3 years from now what is the plan. My mind is running from number on P&L into the sale, commercial part, into creative part, into product development, in retail operation, a lot of things within a day. So it was the time when I would say that both the capacity and capability that I built during that time, it really stretched. And it was fun. It is fantastic time actually. And then I decided to move from Socialite to Joy. Again, it less about continue the beauty area, the beauty industry, but it's more because that I want to learn how the Chinese company running the business, building the business, and then this whole TikTok era is making things very, very different as well. So when I first started talking with the chairman and CEO of Joy for the very first time as well, and the way that they run the business, it's just so efficient. And like normally we have this it's just like the form, the vision, the image of Chinese company is like everyone need to working like long hour, the product is low quality, it's all about copy, the good thing, and then selling a cheaper price kinds of thing, right? But when I got the chance to really uh how to say understand more, get to know more about a company like Joy, they are totally all of that image that I have is, I would say, totally wrong. The innovation of the product was like way ahead of other thing that I've been seeing in Indonesia. I keep telling other people as well that the Chinese company, they really their innovation is already at 2050. It's way ahead on the way they're thinking about formula, packaging, even the process to develop the product as well. Very, very different. And the way that they leverage TikTok, in China we call it Douyin, to build a business is also very different as well. It's not only the game of burning the money for sale, it's about the art of how to leverage that algorithm of TikTok to sell the business, how to create the content, how to learn the content that work, which tool that you're gonna use, how to build a team and the capability to build that business. So very different. So, on and on. Yeah, you are not the first person asking me like why beauty industry. Actually, it have never been it. Like I think I chose to leave with the beauty industry. It's more because that I keep seeking for the opportunity to learn more, to run the business, to build the brand in a better way. And here I am being in the beauty industry for that long.
Okay, so let's talk about the beauty industry in Indonesia. Is it big? Is it growing? What are the industry challenges and opportunities?
I think the opportunity is very clear. Actually, this market, this population is so young, so the potential to grow, it is there. It's like undeniable. Like everyone can see it. Like how big this market currently already is, and the potential of growth is still there. Just take an example of the beauty industry as well. You will not be able to see another um currently Indonesia is like the third biggest market for beauty industry in in Asia already, the biggest one in ASEAN, and it still has so much potential of growth. It's because people in Indonesia, in the way, they are not yet that sophisticated in terms of beauty routine compared to other markets. So the opportunity here is just it's so obvious, I would say. So I think any company, any business will have a place to develop the business, to grow the business in Indonesia. When we think about the size of the business at the moment, the market at the moment, and the size of the potential of growth of this market, so opportunity is there. I would say many people were telling me also like so many new brands, so many like almost every month there'll be a new beauty brand.
And how many such beauty brands are existing in Indonesia?
It's very hard to give you a number because the number of brands keep changing actually. But I would say in Indonesia, even like any retailer will already easily to have more than 500, 700 brands in any
Wow.
retailer. And online is another area. There's a lot of brands that pop up online as well, right? So I would say the number of brand easily to be at the 10,000 brands for total beauty and personal care. So I don't get the exact number here.
Oh, wow. 10,000 brands. That's huge. So is there still space for new brands or, because it seems pretty overcrowded?
Yep. So I will say that, even with because the growth potential is still there, and then if you're looking at like the overall penetration of a certain product as well, we will say about the skincare, for example, like 10 step of Korean skincare is very familiar in Indonesia at the moment. People like I'll give you an example. This is very, very real. So before pandemic, right, we were talking with some people. Like I said, I did some consumer work, and then we were asking about like what they using on a daily basis when it comes to skincare. And then normally they would just say that, oh, I'm gonna clean my face, and then I'm gonna put on moisturizer and then maybe powder, and then I'm good to go. Just after pandemic, which is like 2.5 years, I met on a similar group of consumer, and then they started telling me, no, you need to have serum. Like after you clean your face, you need to have toner, you need to have serum, and then sunscreen, it become a must have. So you see that it already easily increasing so many steps there, right? And this one is not a high-end consumer. It's like the new first jobber as well in Jakarta, of course. Right. So that potential of growth of this market is still a lot. That's still so huge. And that reason why I think opportunity in this market is just so obvious because it's a young population and they are so open for new thing to trying the new thing as well. And now under influence of TikTok, of Instagram, everyone know that outside of Indonesia, consumer having much more sophisticated routine when it comes to beauty, when it comes to makeup and skincare, even hair care now, right? So the opportunity for growth is not only coming from the young population here, but it also like they're getting more and more sophisticated within one category, and then the sophistication, it also expand to the other category as well. Potential of growth for this market when it comes to beauty industry is still huge. However, in terms of challenge, I would say the first challenge is regulation in Indonesia is very hard to predict. It's changing. It's a very, I will say, when I was in L'Oréal, P&G, I don't see this that obvious. But when I started working in Sociolla, because at the C level, you need to see the overall business. The second thing is, I will say in terms of talent as well, Indonesian talent pool, especially for the skill like digital skill, is still not there. So when I was sharing this, some of my friends were also like, how come Indonesia have like some of the best tech startup in the world, right? How come you can say that digital talent is hard here? But I would say I found this challenge even in Sociolla and now even with Joyce as well, because somehow we have a lot of people learning about technologies in Indonesia, but when it comes to like the workplace and ready to do things, it's still not there yet. So the skill set that they learn from school, when it comes to the workplace, it somehow it didn't match. So this is the area that I think still need to catch up a lot if to really like how to say build the business in Indonesia, to accelerate the business growth in Indonesia. So that is the biggest two challenge that I see so far when running the business in Indonesia. However, the opportunity is so huge. That reason why this is also a good challenge to get over because it will be worth it.
And how do you approach talent acquisition in Indonesia? As you mentioned, Joy Cosmetics is a Chinese company, and you have seen how beauty companies in China, especially with the rise of TikTok, are leading the way in tech and innovation. How do you bridge the talent gap that exists in the Indonesian market?
I think being patient actually. So when you don't have a ready pool of talent to use, then you need to develop them. So at the moment, what I have been trying to do is I got a lot of help from our HQ in China to spend resource to develop the talent in Indonesia. So when I just started with Joy, I did have the in Indonesia, I did have the hope that there will be good talent in the market and just plug in and play. Now after a while, seeing like that's not true, then now I will say be patient. We need to develop. So at the moment, I got help with we send some of the people from China coming here as well, and then I have also the expert from China visit us quite frequent and give a lot of training, coaching, working together with the team in Indonesia to develop this. And even from my end as well.
You mentioned the strict regulations in Indonesia's beauty industry and the talent gap. So, from your perspective, what's the key to thriving in Indonesia's evolving market?
I say for beauty industry in specific is really about driving relevant innovation because and relevant is really relevant in two ways. The first one is relevant with the need of Indonesian consumer as well. Indonesian consumer have very unique need. I would say if you're looking at Indonesia, right, the support that they have for local brand, it's just phenomenal compared to other market in ASEAN. I would say in beauty industry, Indonesia is one of the market that the local brand is the strongest compared to other player like international player. And yes, we can say that it also because that they want to support Indonesian brand is the nationalism. However, I think deep down is Indonesian consumer, Indonesian people really know what they want and what is good for them. It's very different. They don't want to become someone else. They want to be Indonesian. They know their skin tone. They know the weather here is different. They know their face feature also different as well. It's very, I would say, very unique. somehow they really have very strong self-awareness about the difference, about uniqueness of Indonesia as well. So beyond the nationalism, the unique demand, like I want the product that work for my skin tone. I want the product that work for how this climate, this weather with pollution in Jakarta, and then it's also because Indonesian is also the biggest population of Muslim in the world, right? So you need to have the product that relevant for that as well, right? So I think relevancy is very, very important for Indonesia. But to win in this market is not only just right relevancy. You need to have strong innovation as well, especially in beauty industry. In consumer in beauty industry, because using beauty product is not only just for functional, right? There's a lot of emotional connection there as well, and trend. So that reason why bringing newness, innovate the product in a meaningful way is very important. So I think to really win Indonesian people heart, mind, and pocket, you really need to stay relevant.
Look, you talk about innovation, and you said that to lead in this market, and especially in the beauty segment, where there are many brands, one needs to lead innovation. From your experience, could you share any success story from your time at Sociolla or Joy Group that exemplifies your leadership style and approach to innovation?
I would say what I just said with you relating to the relevant innovation, it exactly my approach as well. So say for example, let's say for example, my current business with Joy, right? So what I think that the basically Judido as a brand of Joy brand is still very new in the market as well, but we have some product that just doing extremely well because the innovation itself is meaningful for Indonesian consumer. I one of the product that totally gone viral in Indonesia for us is the iron mascara. Basically, it's a mascara, but it doesn't have the normal brush that you see. It's made from iron, like really, metal mascara, right? So when you apply, um, so first the formula itself is extremely waterproof and smart proof. So it didn't move under whatever heat and sweat and even like when you do wudu as well. So I think that is a must have for any mascara product in Indonesia. So throughout the day, whatever you do, you go with Gojek, going around, you get sweat, the weather can be extremely humid, it still stay. So I think that is the first thing. The second one is also Indonesian lashes. They usually have long lashes but drooping. Right, so this mascara is because it has so lightweight formula and because it the iron applicator. So that reason why it can lift up the lashes from the root. So when the formula is light and then you can lift up from the root, obviously you can get your lash it curve and stay throughout the day. So this kinds of innovation is what I call it the relevant innovation. So whenever that I got a new product into my hand or a new idea of a new product pop up, I always think that is it really relevant to Indonesian consumer? And you need to see this Indonesian consumer in the holistic way as well. I would say I put the relevancy to Indonesian consumer in the heart of all of this work.
Thank you for sharing how Joy prioritizes innovation that's truly relevant to Indonesian consumers. On a separate note, Ngoc, can you repeat the name of that mascara? I'm sure our listeners would be very keen to pick that up. And I still can't get over this with iron-based applicator. Did I get it right?
It's an iron applicator.
Iron applicator. Okay.
Normally, if you're looking at any mascara, you will see the brush, right? The mascara that that gone viral in Indonesia is actually an iron applicator. You should try actually because like most of actually later I will just send the product to you actually. You should try. It's the kind of literally I'm using it every single day now. I cannot change to any other mascara at the moment.
Oh, it does sound like an incredible product, and I can see why you're so passionate about it. So now, as someone so deeply entrenched in Indonesia's ecosystem, what do you think people often get wrong about this market?
I think it will be the speed of working. I saw many of my friends, expat, and they come to Indonesia. They work for like 6 months, 1 year, and they still feel that Indonesian working environment is quite slow. Um, After many years working here, I would say it really depends on Indonesian people. Actually, they can work with heart. They will give you more. They will go extra mile, and they can really go like run faster than you as well. However, you need to engage with them in a deeper level. You really need to engage with them to let them understand the purpose, the meaning of their work, so they can feel that they are contributing. Then you will be able to get their engagement at the different level. So I think that is the key thing different when it comes to working culture. Because when honestly it myself, I was strong as well. When I just came here, I was also like very aggressive, and you from India as well, and I was from Vietnam, and both all have the culture, same culture actually. Like we're very aggressive. We want to get things done fast, and then we don't mind to confront, right? But so when I just came here, I will also find that it's a little bit hard for me to really get into the speed of Indonesian people, because they don't like aggressiveness, and in the meeting as well sometimes we cannot confront things, I made a mistake that I took it as the slow speed. And then I got a coaching actually from my boss back then. He was telling me that, oh, Indonesian people, they work with heart. You really need to engage with them at a deeper level. Once you gain the trust, once then the engagement that you got to work to get things move actually, it you will feel very different because they work with full passion, right? So that was, I would say, one of the best advice that I got when in my transition to understand the Indonesian working culture.
So, as a final note, Nok, what excites you most about the future of Joy Group and your role in shaping it?
Yeah, I think as I share with you, right, in innovation, learning about how efficient Chinese company um, uh, are running the operation in China, and also the innovation that already so well ahead. What I was so excited is I really be a part of bringing all of that to Indonesia, to ASEAN actually. So I really, my dream is really I will be able to bring all of this um, advanced innovation in terms of technology, in terms of formula, in terms of packaging, and then also like the very clever way of leveraging TikTok to build the brand beyond just spending ad like what, and then doing a lot of promotion like the other brand doing in Indonesia at the moment. So yeah, it's I think in the way is like just this excitement of can help to bring all of that learning both in terms of culture, working culture, run a business in a very efficient way, bringing all of that innovation to Indonesian consumer and then into Indonesian talents as well is what I most excited about with my role in Joy Group now.
That's such an awesome vision, Nok. Love hearing about your drive to shake things up and bring real innovation to Indonesia. Thanks for sharing your story. We can't wait to see how Joy Group grows with you leading the way.
Thank you so much, Neha. Again, it's my great pleasure that can be your guest in this session. Thank you.
Same here. Thank you, Nok. And that's a wrap for this episode of Durian Dreaming. I hope today's discussion sparked some new ideas for you. Don't forget to subscribe, share your thoughts, and stay tuned for more exciting stories. Until next time, keep keep dreaming big.